Well, Dustin, I want to move on to running backs if we could. And this one is very personal for me. So I understand, Dustin, if you don't want to answer this, because you would basically be helping a league mate out here, having to make this very tough call. But I'm honestly, and imagine pairing these two names together at the start of the season: Ezekiel Elliot or Darrell Henderson. They're separated by just a few spots right now, literally just a couple of fantasy points. I know people were very high on Zeke. Some were high on Zeke as a bounce back coming into the year. I was low on him, but not this low on him. I wasn't a crazy person low on him. And now Darrell Henderson. So they're two sides of a coin because they're both in committees. I mean, everybody is basically. Every running back really is in a committee for the most part. But they're kind of on different paths. Like, it seems to me Tony Pollard is the better player than Zeke right now. And it also seems to me Darrell Henderson is the better player than Cam Akers right now. But I don't know how that's going to shake out for the rest of the year. So what do we think? Would we rather stick with Zeke or take a chance that they start to play Henderson a little bit more? Jen, any big thoughts on that one?
I think they're probably going to start leaning more on Henderson. They've got to change something. This is not a team that we saw last year. And Zeke is gassed. I have had high hopes, I guess, for him to break out, but Tony Pollard is basically paying the bill. He's the one out there doing the work. He's proving himself. And I just can't. I only have one share of Zeke. I have 0 of Darrell Henderson. But if he's available, I'm going out there and I'm going to pick him up because Sean McVay is too smart to allow this team to continue to just plummet like they are. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's like being a Broncos fan.
It's not that bad. Believe me, I'd still rather be a Rams fan right now than a Broncos fan. But that said, Jen, you're right. This Cam Akers experiment's got to stop. It is not to say that he can't have value, maybe next season, season after. But coming off this Achilles, it takes time to get that confidence in your muscles and your joints back. Because every time you cut, you're afraid you're going to pop that Achilles again. We saw it took Deontay Foreman from 2019 to 2018, 2022 to get comfortable on the field again. And that's 4 years, and now we're finally seeing him actually be able to run. They've got to lean on Henderson. I'm with Jen on this.
That's good to know. I'm going to lock that away for future consideration. Dustin, do you care to share some thoughts on that, or are you going to pass on this one?
As much as it pains me, I will say Darrell Henderson as well. And really, well, two things. One, I just don't trust Mike McCarthy. I should have learned my lesson from all the years we had to deal with him in the running back situation. But then also, Darrell Henderson is much more involved in the passing game with the Rams, where Zeke has basically been non-existent this year. So that is really the deciding factor for me, is that usage in the passing game.
Yeah. And I'm inclined to agree. I think if one of them is going to get like a really staggering workload at any point, it'll be Darrell Henderson. So you might as well wait around for that because Zeke's 7 points per week aren't really going to help you regardless.
Mm-hmm. And that hurts me a lot.
More than the fireball?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Fireballs kids play.